Hey guys, so I've had some people ask me why I would even want to consider living in a tiny house, and I feel like I've made a video talking about this in the past, maybe even more than one video, but I thought that I would address it again because it seemed like more people had questions following the video where I was talking about the possibility of finding my tiny home builder. Um, I will tell you that even though I have an idea of where I'm going to get my tiny home from when that time comes, I am not to that point in the process yet because there are still a lot of like property preparations I need to do before I can even consider purchasing a tiny home or having one built for me or anything like that. So I think one of the main reasons why I have been so interested in tiny home living is because one, it's just me. Um, I'm not, I don't have a big family. I'm not married, nothing like that. And I feel like with just me, I have a lot of freedom as far as like not necessarily being tied down to one particular place. Obviously, I have my job and my family and things like that, but I'm not married, you know, and with the fact that like I don't have those constraints or anything holding me down really, um, I feel like I want more of just a simple life. I don't necessarily want a huge house payment. I don't necessarily want like to rent a property where I'm going to be paying more to someone than the property's really worth. Like the apartment that I was living in when I first moved back to Michigan was very small. It was one bedroom and it was like 500 square feet. And I just want to say that, like, there is absolutely no reason why I couldn't live in a property that is that small or in a building that is that small. It was kind of perfect for what I needed it for. However, like, the person that owns that building didn't really keep up with maintenance or things like that. And I also had a couple of other issues as far as like when they did send maintenance workers to come in to check like screens and stuff before wintertime, um, or to repair a screen in the bedroom that was like coming off of the corner. They didn't knock on the door. Their maintenance person just walked in while I was in the shower. And so I had some issues with that as well. Obviously, like my own personal safety and things that have happened to me in the past, I didn't feel comfortable. And then plus, like, I was having health problems to the point where it wasn't safe for me to live on my own anymore. And so that's what ended me here living with my godmother and her sister. And so basically, um, I do, to get back to like what this video is about, I do want my own living space. I would love to have like the independence of owning my own place to live. And as I have mentioned in previous videos, my godmother did give me um, the land, the lot that is next to hers. So I do have a place to put my tiny home once I get it. However, like I said, there is a lot of preparation that needs to be done as far as like laying down a pad, like for gravel pad or concrete or whatever I want to do with that. Getting like electrical hookups. There is a pole, but I would have to get electrical hookups and or gas and all of that stuff, kind of just depending on what I need. And um, like probably cutting down some trees to clear out space for the tiny house and things like that. So there is definitely a process that I'm going to have to go through before I'm able to even consider, like I said, buying one or having one built for me. But I just like, I crave that simplicity. I crave my own independent space, but I also crave simplicity. Like, obviously, my godmother's house is really nice. She has a fireplace. She has, a hot tub. Even though we don't use it right now, she has a hot tub. She has 2 stories. She has 3, potentially 4 bedrooms. There used to be 4 bedrooms, but she took the wall down in between the 2 that are downstairs. And, I don't need that much space for myself. I would love to just have a space where, there's enough room for me and a dog and whatever. I don't necessarily need anything super fancy, and I don't really want anything super fancy. I want something where I can keep my stuff in it and not feel overwhelmed by like having to buy a whole bunch of stuff for this house. I would love to be able to decorate my own space and, have things how I want it. But like I said, I want something that is a lot more simplistic than having to like buy and care for like a whole house. And I know me, and one thing is that like I do better when I'm in smaller spaces because it's more cozy sorry. I'm still congested. It's more cozy to me, and therefore with the cozier feeling in the smaller space, I tend to keep up with like cleaning and things like that a lot better. Not saying that I'm not someone who can clean on a regular basis, but a lot of times like my PTSD and depression take over, and then I get in a slump where I'm not really motivated to do anything or keep up with chores and things like that. So I think I do better when I'm in a smaller space and I have less space to worry about, less space to collect things. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot that needs to happen before I even consider buying a tiny house, but I do kind of have plans for how I want things to be and how I want things to look and things like that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what comes my way, but hopefully that answers your questions. If any of you guys had any questions about like my motivations for wanting to live in a tiny house and things like that. So anyways, if you guys have any other questions about anything in my life, whether that's pre-med, if you have questions about my job working in special education as a paraprofessional, or if you have any questions about CNA, medical assisting, phlebotomy, like I said, pre-med, or my motivations for switching my major from neuroscience to speech and hearing science and potentially pursuing audiology or speech language pathology if I don't get into medical school right away, I would be glad to make a video talking more about that. So anyways, let me know, and I will talk to you guys next time.